lessons to learn from Senator Ned and Regina Daniels' marriage chaos. Before we go into the lessons, let me introduce them to you. So Senator Ned is an elderly man, a senator, a politician that got married to an actress named Regina Daniels. Yes, they got married in 2019, and this year 2025, recently, they got into a marriage crisis. Yes, so from the little video that was released online, allegedly, very important, was portraying Regina Daniels' abuse, but there was a counter information that the senator gave that Regina, his wife, was under the influence of drugs. That was why she was overreacting in the video that was posted online. Yes, so their marital crisis, their recent marital crisis, was actually trending. Yes, it was trending a lot. But soon after some days, we now saw that they actually reconciled. Yes, with the wife, of course, Regina Daniels, later, during the crisis, she left her husband's house. Yes, but after the reconciliation, intervention from family, allegedly, she has gone back to her husband's house. So the whole crisis has been resolved. But there are actually some lessons that can be learned from their marriage chaos, and that is what I want to talk about in today's episode. Sometimes the most glamorous marriages are the marriages with the most explosive moments. Think about it. Check it. Just check with all the Nigerian celebrities. It is always like that. When it happens, it can be really, really bad. But the thing is that you should not focus on the perfection, how perfect someone's marriage is. No. You should focus on what to do, what they did in the time of their crisis, what they did when the walls of their marriage started to crack. That is the main thing to focus on. So like I said before, in today's episode, I'll be talking about lessons to learn from Senator Ned and Regina Daniels' marriage chaos. So if you're looking for what to learn rather than what to judge in their marriage, this video is for you. But of course, before I begin, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you've not subscribed. Also like and comment on my videos as well. Don't forget to share my videos to those that really need to hear this. Thank you so much for that. So what are the lessons to learn from Senator Ned and Regina Daniels' story? Lesson number 1. Going public with your private pain is dangerous. A very good example is the video of Regina Daniels crying. Yes, she was crying in one of the videos that was seen online. That video alone brought a lot of social media speculation. The rumors doubled. The misunderstandings tripled. In fact, such thing can actually make resolution even far away from your marriage, because people will say no manner of things. You understand? So it is the lesson to actually learn is to keep your private pain private as much as you can. Such as I heard that it was her own brother, Regina Daniels' brother, that uploaded the video. Yes, but the lesson to also learn is to keep your private pain private. Another lesson is, when crisis hits a person's marriage, do not see it or assume that perception is the whole truth. That perception is the truth. A very good example is that same video of Regina Daniels crying. She was crying, she was saying all manner of things, that she's tired, that the violence is too much. Just that video made people started thinking and saying a lot of things. And my God, if you enter social media platforms, you will see where people are saying all manner of rubbish. I'm telling you. So what people and fans need to understand is that when dramatic moments happen in a person's marriage, it's not a time for you to start talking all manner of things. Firstly, because you weren't there. Secondly, because you don't know the whole truth. And thirdly, you did not hear from the horse's mouth. So you have to be careful what you say on social media. don't just say things, open your mouth and say all manner of bad things about someone else's marriage because of a 1 minute or a 2 minutes video you saw online. Be very, very careful. Don't broadcast or comment on things immediately until you know the truth. You also need to understand that accusations can also go both ways. That's why you don't need to believe what you see or what you hear instantly until you have understood or heard the whole truth. A very good example is Senator Ned saying allegedly that Regina Daniel was under the influence of drug abuse, and Regina Daniel saying that, portraying that she was facing domestic violence in her marriage, allegedly. So you see, the lesson to actually learn is that when conflict came into their marriage, they started the blame game, which is wrong. It will only make things get worse. So when you're having a misunderstanding with your partner, what to do is to have honest conversations with your partner rather than playing the blame game. Shifting blames will not make things any better. Another very important lesson is that family intervention can actually salvage a crashing relationship or marriage. Yes, so in Senator Ned and Regina Daniel's case, it was the family intervention that actually made the whole crisis to end, and they had closed door family meetings and they finally reconciled. So sometimes, not every time, the wider family can actually help during marital crisis, but not all the time, please. We also need to understand that age difference does not eliminate marital challenges. Yes, from Senator Ned and Regina Daniel's marital crisis, you will understand that even as a high-profile couple, they still had their own explosive moments. They had their own issues. So the lesson to learn is that status or resources, see how rich that man is, but they still had their own explosive moment. They still had marital crisis. So whether you as a woman, you marry a man that is old enough to be your grandfather or your great-grandfather or your ancestor, it doesn't stop, it doesn't eliminate marital crisis. Or you as a man, you go and marry a lady that is old enough to be your granddaughter, or you even marry a sugar mommy. What the age difference does not eliminate marital crisis. That is the lesson you need to learn. So it's very important that you know who you marry. Not just about it's like if I marry my age mate, there will be challenges. No, it's not about the age. It's about the personality. It's about the person you're getting married to. You need to also learn and understand that reconciliation is possible. Yes, even in celebrity marriages. So yes, we heard after some time, as in after the whole crisis, that they have reconciled, and Regina Daniels, the wife, has gone back to Senator Ned's home. They are finally reconciled. So you see that reconciliation is indeed possible. Once celebrity couples start having marital crisis, the next thing we hear, most times, the next thing we hear is separation, and the next thing is divorce. You understand? So the lesson to actually learn from Senator's marriage crisis is that ending things is not the only option. Sometimes repairing the damage is a better option, is another good option. So yes, even in celebrity marriages, high-profile marriages, reconciliation is possible. We need to learn that even as a high-profile couple, it is okay to ask for help. Yes. So where Senator Ned was saying that his wife must go for rehab to receive treatment. See, that is actually something really good. It is okay to need help, even as a high-profile personality. So when you notice that your partner is beginning to have destructive behavior, it is okay to ask for help, to go for treatment, to go for where you receive help when it is necessary. And in their case, yes, it was very much necessary over her alleged drug abuse. Another very important lesson to learn is don't let social media dictate your marital destiny. Yes, it is very important. Because during Senator Ned and Regina Daniels' marriage chaos online, people were celebrating their marital crisis. Can you imagine? People were saying all manner of rubbish. People were even insulting her for marrying a man old enough to be her grandfather, because her husband is older than her own father. So people were saying all manner of things. I'm telling you, I was reading the comments and it was really bad. So my dear, in the midst of your marital crisis, please do not pay attention to social media. I even heard that Regina Daniels even, I think she logged out of her Instagram or something like that, just for her own peace of mind. If you can, yes, avoid all those things. Focus on your marriage, on how to move forward, on how to solve the problem in your marriage, on how to pass through and overcome that crisis in your marriage, not on the headlines, not on the comments you're seeing on social media platforms. If not, those comments can actually make you change the narrative of your marital journey. They can make you change your mind. Do you understand? So do not allow social media to dictate how your marital crisis is going to end. You, the man, the woman, choose how that crisis is going to end and what your marital destiny is going to be. Do not allow social media to do it for you. In the midst of your marital crisis, one person begins to say, I am nothing. Just know that work needs to be done. Yes, because in the midst of Senator Ned and Regina Daniels' marital crisis, Regina Daniels said, in Ned's house, I am nothing, I am worthless. She was saying all manner of things. So when such a thing begins to happen in your marriage, when you're in the midst of a marital crisis, when your partner begins to feel worthless, please, you have work to do. Make your partner feel valued, so that in the midst of all the crises, they don't feel lost. Marriage survival is about consistency and not about perfection. Yes, in the case of Senator Ned and Regina Daniels, you know that their marriage still continued even after all the storm. So the lesson to learn is, it's not about your marriage failing. It's about what you do when you fall. Do you rise immediately when you fall, or do you just allow things to get worse just because of the crisis in your home? Another very important lesson is that material wealth can mask but does not cure relational illness. You know, Senator Ned is a very wealthy man. Everybody knows that. He's very rich, but yet he still has issues in his marriage. So you see that money is not everything. No matter what people say, money is not everything. Money is very important. Resources help a lot in marriage. Everybody knows that as well. But money is not everything. There are also some other things that are very, very important, very, very key for a successful marriage. If you reconcile back with your partner after a dispute, make sure things have changed. Yes. So we all heard that after the marital crisis, that Senator Ned and Regina Daniels finally reconciled after some family interventions and the closed-door family meetings and everything. So the lesson to learn is, after the whole crisis, when you guys now reconcile, make sure that things have changed. Make sure that you now aim for evolution in your marriage. We also need to learn that reconciliation is not the end. It is actually the beginning of a new phase in your marriage. So when you guys get back together, you reconcile with your partner after a marriage crisis. In as such as peace has been restored, you need to understand that there is work to be done. Why? So that history does not repeat itself. So you need to understand that there are things that you still need to do patiently and intentionally, so that those problems does not come back, so that, like I said before, history does not repeat itself. And finally, on today's episode on lessons to learn from Senator Ned and Regina Daniels' marital crisis is, every marital journey has its own season. So do not measure your own marriage with someone else's. Your marital journey is not going to look typical like its blueprints. So define your marriage by your own goals, your own repairs, your own timelines, and not with someone else's. Because everybody's marriage and life is not the same. So avoid comparison, avoid what everyone else expects you to do in your marriage. It's not every marriage that will divorce after marital crisis. There are some marriages that actually need to divorce. There are grounds for the divorce, of course, but it's not all. So do not say, hey, this person had a particular this person had marital crisis some time ago, and now they're separated and now they are divorced. So now that I'm facing it's time for me to divorce. No, it is possible that your own can be repaired and you'll continue your marriage and your life. So don't measure your marriage with someone else's marital journey. So in summary, what I'm trying to say is that, most people look at celebrity marriages like fairy tales. But my dear, if you peel away the gloss from celebrity marriages, you will find the struggles, the pains, and the lessons. So from Senator Ned and Regina Daniel's story, there are a lot of lessons and principles to learn. So if you're married or about to get married, we all need to understand and learn how to overcome marital storms. All marital storms cannot end in divorce, should not end in divorce. You understand? So, but we need to understand and learn how to overcome these storms. It is not by being perfect. It is far from it. Nobody's perfect. No marriage is perfect. It is about what you do in the midst of the storms. It's about being strong, committed, and courageous in the midst of that storm. So that is all for today's episode on lessons to learn from Senator Ned and Regina Daniel's story. Thank you so much for watching my video today. Thanks so much for listening. And please, if you've not subscribed, kindly subscribe to my channel. Also like and comment on my videos as well. Thank you so much for watching. See you in another episode with Rusi Babe.